Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a watch that I feel many people know about, but not many people have actually owned or seen in real life. Now, the watch I have with me today is the San Martin 62MAS Homage. Now, there are different pronunciations of this brand name. Some people call it San Martin, some people call it San Martin. I'm gonna hover around the middle and just call it San Martin. So there's been a couple of versions of this watch released over the past 2 years, and the version I have with me today is the V3. For a brief history session, the 62MAS was Seiko's first ever dive watch. That's it, we're done with the history lesson. When Seiko announced a reissue back in 2017, I was so hyped. It was called SLA017 and it was an absolutely amazing watch. That hype swiftly died once I found out the watch's price. So I was excited to find out about the San Martin, and I wanted to see if it could help scratch that itch of me actually owning the SLA017. Now, I've had my eyes on the San Martin Homage for around a year before I finally decided to pull the trigger. And let me tell you, I don't regret it one bit. Now, without further delays, let's get into the packaging. Like all San Martin pieces, this watch comes in a pelican style case that's padded on the inside. You get the usual set of goodies inside. You get a warranty card that's actually stamped this time. You also get a manual and a nice plastic hang tag. San Martin also includes a spring bar tool, which is surprisingly very high quality. That's a really nice touch. Onto the watch itself, and let's cover some dimensions. This watch comes in a 40mm case with a 48.2mm lug-to-lug length. It's actually 54mm if you measure from end link to end link, making the effective lug-to-lug length a bit higher than what's stated on the spec sheet. It has a 20mm lug width and is 14.3mm in height, with 2mm coming from the dome sapphire crystal. On the supplied stainless steel bracelet, it comes in at 160 grams. Here's what it looks like on my 6.5-inch wrist. It fits great, and I feel like it has a really nice presence on the wrist without looking too big or flashy. Now let's dive into the specifications of the watch. It has a stainless steel case with circular brushing on the top of the case and polish on the sides. The case is angular and it stays true to the case design of the Seiko 62MAS. It has a nice side profile and curves down slightly at the lugs. This watch also comes with drilled lugs, making strap changes much easier. The crystal that comes with this is a double dome sapphire crystal that I measured to be 2mm. Now the dome on this sapphire crystal is fantastic and it's not something I've seen at this price point. It has a strong and clear Swiss grade AR coating that makes the crystal disappear in most lighting conditions. Now, under that crystal is a gorgeous sunburst grey dial. I never thought I'd like a grey dial until I saw this piece, and it just looks stunning. The sunburst pattern plays with the light in amazing ways, managing to be subtle and vying for your attention at the same time. Now, speaking about attention, there's another thing that'll probably catch your attention the first time you see this watch, and that's the logo. San Martin decided to go with the latest version of their logo, which is an applied hexagonal shape of the brand's name right under the 12 o'clock marker. Now, this new logo is very divisive, but personally, I think it works well with the vibe of the watch and the shape of the indices. The dial is surrounded by a minute track chapter ring that's a new addition on this V3 model. It has some funky distortions when viewed through that dome sapphire crystal at certain angles, and it's a very nice look. The indices on this piece are rectangular and they are wider on the 6 and 9 o'clock positions and much wider on the 12 o'clock hour marker. The indices look very high quality and they're cleanly finished. They reflect light beautifully and they're filled to the brim with C3 Super Lumina Lume, making them highly legible whether it's day or night. You'll also find a frame cutout for the date at the 3 o'clock position. Now the date is printed in black against a white background. The date window looks very cleanly done and gives the dial a good balance. The hour and minute hands are rectangle styled with a lollipop second hand. Now this handset is probably the best I've seen on a watch, period. They're brushed at the top and they have polished bevels on either side of the lume. They have an amazing dimensionality to them and they just look so high quality. You really have to see it in real life to get a sense of what I'm trying to say. The bezel is a 120 click dive time bezel with a ceramic insert. The bezel has a very thin profile and it makes the watch look very clean. Although it's thin, the bezel is fairly easy to grip and thin, and it has minimal resistance to it. The printing on the bezel also looks very clean and I couldn't find any imperfections. It also features a Lume pip at the 12 o'clock position. Speaking about the bezel action, I have to be honest and I just have to say that it's not good at all. Now, I'll get into this a bit more in the dislike section later on. The Lume on this piece is just out of this world. The application of Lume is so thick, it doesn't even need a lot of charge. Now, it absolutely blows away any other watch I've had in the Lume department, and that includes my Seiko and Orient divers. The San Martin 62MAS also has a sign screw-down crown that's engraved with the San Martin shark logo. It has a nice knurling that makes it very easy to grip. Now, the action when unscrewing the crown is buttery smooth. There's absolutely no grit at all, and I found myself just unscrewing and screwing it back in just to feel how good and smooth it was. It was really that good. Now, on the back of the case, you'll find a screw-down caseback with a very high-quality engraving of the shark and the usual spec sheet. The engraving is very deep, but it's also finished remarkably well. The movement powering this watch is the Seiko Instruments NH35. It's a reliable movement that comes with hacking and hand-winding functionality. It beats at 21,600 bph, it has 24 joules, and it has a 41-hour power reserve. In my time using this watch, which was a couple of months, it averaged around plus 5 seconds per day. Lastly, let's look at the bracelet. It's a 3-link oyster bracelet that's entirely brushed on the top and sides with solid links and end links. There's some nice visual cues to it as the center link is more flat and the side links have a slight curve to them. The individual links are chunky and they feel really solid. The bracelet features a pin and collar system which some may find annoying, but you'll only need to adjust it once. The clasp on this is amazing. It's milled in entirety and it features a double push release with a safety lock that features the engraved San Martin text. It also comes with 6 micro adjustment positions, which is brilliant for fine-tuning that perfect fit. Now let's talk about what I like about the watch. Well, number one is the fit and finish. I'm very impressed by it. The brushing looks really well done and the polished surfaces are very clean with minimal distortion. You can tell that this is a high quality timepiece the moment you hold it in your hand. The tolerances are also really tight and it lends to the overall high quality feeling you get when you hold this watch. I also love the dial. The dial is the star of this watch. There's no way I can properly describe or show it through video, but that sunburst grey dial is absolutely breathtaking. I found myself staring at this watch so many times without even looking at the time. A sign that it's a gorgeous watch. The amazing dome crystal definitely helps with the overall depth of the dial too. It's so high quality, I can't imagine how much it would have cost them to use this. I've only seen a similar style crystal in the Oris Diver 65 and that's a watch that costs easily 5 times the price of this. Next up, the Lume. Now I'll just go ahead and say it. I think this watch has the absolute best Lume of any AliExpress watch. At least of the many I've experienced myself. It's not just the brightness, but it's the overall quality of it. It glows in a very vivid green color. It doesn't require much charge and it's evenly applied throughout. It also lasts really long. You can wake up in the middle of the night and have absolutely no problem knowing what time it is. Now, one thing I've come to expect from AliExpress watches and any other watch below $500 at that fact is a subpar bracelet. So manufacturers at this price range usually focus on putting the bulk of the costs involved into the head of the watch. And that's why it's absolutely shocking how high quality the bracelet on the San Martin is. Really, it feels like it has no right to be included in a watch at this price point. The fit and finish looks amazing, the links are thick and secure, the clasp feels like it could survive anything you throw at it. All of this while giving you the perfect fit with 6 micro adjustment possibilities. The only thing I don't like about this bracelet is the protruding end links. That may cause some issues for those with smaller wrists, so take note of that. The San Martin 62MAS can be had for $200 on most days, and it even goes down to $180 when there's a big sale. Now at that price, it's honestly a no-brainer. Now, no watch is perfect, so I'm going to talk about what I don't like about the watch. Number 1, bezel action. The bezel felt too light and hollow to me. The clicks feel weak and mushy at certain points. I would have liked more resistance and a meatier sound to it. it feels like the cheapest component on the watch, which is a shame as it's probably the part of the watch that people will be fiddling with most often. Next up, this might be highly controversial because this is something the brand has built a reputation on, but I do want to point out some QC issues that I found with my watch. Now, Saint Martin has a great reputation for QC. I guess that kind of makes me very unlucky that I had this with my watch, but either way, I have to tell it as it is. This watch came to me with misaligned hands. The minute hand was about 8 minutes behind when the hour hand is at the corresponding hour marker, which annoyed me so much. Now, Saint Martin was kind enough when I reached out and explained the problem to offer me a partial refund, and I got the hands realigned at a local watchmaker. If you notice some scratches at the base of the hand throughout this video, the scratches actually kind of only appeared after the watchmaker realigned the hands, so that's not something I can fault Saint Martin with. But the fact that he even had to mess with the hands is something that I have to highlight. That was quite disappointing. Now, to sum things up, what do I think about the Saint Martin 62MAS? Well, if you're looking for a gorgeous, high-quality dive watch with vintage styling that will serve you in any situation, this is the one for you. Honestly, it's just a fantastic package all around. I still find myself being blown away by the quality on offer. And I really believe this is just one of those watches you'd fall in love with as soon as you see it in real life and have it in your hands. This is the highest quality watch I've experienced from AliExpress, and it really puts the more expensive offerings from many mainstream brands to shame. This piece has single-handedly changed my perception of value when it comes to watches. Now, whether that's a good thing, only time can tell. For now, I can't wait to experience more Saint Martin watches, and I highly recommend you do the same. Now, if you feel like getting this watch, please do consider using the affiliate link in my description. It won't cost you a single cent more, but it does help with getting the channel some money, which I will then use to get more watches for review. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.